So today we talk about two people that are 60 years apart in age that have one very important thing in common. Bruce Jenner and Jacob Lemay. Let's talk about them. So Bruce Jenner came out a couple days ago in an interview with Diane Sawyer. I thought that this interview was done very well. I've seen interviews done with transgender people in the past and they were so bad. Diane Sawyer didn't ask once about Bruce's genitalia, which was refreshing. Thank you for that. That always bothers me so much when an interviewer can think it's okay to sit there and say, "So, tell me about your vagina." No, if this was any other woman, you'd get slapped at best, and you should. So thank you for just the general air of respect that I found this interview had. What surprised most people, and honestly what surprised me about this interview, was that Bruce decided to keep Bruce, and he decided to keep the male pronouns. Now, my initial reaction to this was the same as a lot of people's reaction, which was, what's the dealio, yo? Why aren't you owning the she? Why aren't you owning the new name? But after taking a couple days to think about it, I've really given it some thought, and looking back on my transition and the transition of others that I've witnessed, this is hard. This is the hardest thing you're likely to ever have to do. I've done some pretty hard things in my life, and none of them came close to the struggle of transition. So I think before we all just jump on this whole, you didn't come out strong enough and you're doing this like a weenie. Wow, that was a bad choice of words. You're doing this like a wimp. You know, let's just all take into consideration the fact that this is a journey that takes years. And Bruce is starting a lot later than most of us. I started in my mid-20s, and even waiting that long made it exponentially more difficult than someone who can do it prepubescent. So please understand that this is a huge leap. Every tiny step is a leap for Bruce. And this is the first of hundreds of leaps that will take so much courage and so much preparation and so much strength. So instead of sitting back here and saying that you could have done it better, Bruce, you could have done it better, Bruce, or that's not how I would have done it, let's just say, you know what, Bruce? We respect you and we support you. In fact, Bruce, if you ever need a bud, you come up here, Portland, Oregon, I'll buy you a beer. We've got the best in the US, all right? Stay strong. Next, I want to talk about this amazing little man. Look at this face. His name is Jacob, his mom's name is Mimi, and his dad's name is Joe, and together, this group of people has inspired me. Not only little Jacob's courage to say, this is me, this is who I am, but his parents' courage to stand in front of society and say, I don't care what you think more than I care about my child's happiness and well-being. Their ability to stand up and take on all that discrimination and all that judgment in order to ensure that their child is raised happy and healthy, and ensure that their child isn't one of the 45% of teens, 16 to 25, who attempt suicide, to ensure that their child has the life that they deserve. It doesn't have to live in the closet, it doesn't have to live in shame, it doesn't have to live in the back alleys of America pretending to be somebody they're not. This interview, which if you're gonna watch one of these two interviews today, watch this one, because this one will bring tears to your eyes. This one will inspire you. Joe and Mimi will show you what love is. Not through words, but through action. And so if I can do anything today, if you leave this with anything, I want to reach out to Joe and Mimi, and I want to say thank you. On behalf of anybody who has ever been a child and ever struggled with who they are, which we all have, Thank you for loving your baby the way you do. Thank you for loving Jacob and letting him be himself. And I commend you for your courage. So with that, we have a 65-year-old, we have a 5-year-old, we have all the people around them that support them, and we have an amazing journey. I feel like we're on a tidal wave of a change, of a societal change that's going to make life easier for everybody who has ever struggled with their gender identity. So get behind it, be supportive, and as always, stay strong and stay true to you.